Okay, hello everybody. This is another video blog for the 2013 Vindolanda excavations. Just to update you on progress in the last fortnight or so. And what I'm going to try and do is just guide you through not so much the stuff that we've already looked at in the past, you can catch that on previous video blogs, but more the items and the features that we've been looking at in specifically the last fortnight. So to start off, here we are on the eastern side of the fort. There's the fort wall and the fort rampart, and some nice flagging over the top of the Intervallum Road with its beautiful cobbled base underneath that. And one of the discoveries that we've made more recently is this rather fine drain which runs down the western side of the Intervallum Road and just outside the eastern edge of whatever these structures are that we've excavated in the previous few weeks. So that's been really quite good fun to clean out. Should prove more fun when we start to sieve the environmental samples to get any microflora and fauna, what sort of weeds were grown outside these buildings, that type of thing. So that's going to prove useful in the future. And moving a little bit further down, we've had some real success further down the trench. And what we've located, a couple of weeks ago we got this rather nice foundation of a wall here, which seemed to poke out beyond the wall of the 4th century buildings that we've been looking at previously. This one in the centre of the shot there, turning the corner, and this one obviously predating that. Its wall foundations had gone beneath the later structure, and we finally got the distance across the building. So its gable end measures 6 metres wide from end to end, which is exactly the same as the barrack or whatever building it proves to be that we found in weeks 1 and 2 way up in the far side of the site beside the wooden steps there. So what's become apparent now really clearly is that we've got 2 buildings laid directly parallel and perpendicular to each other, which clearly predate all the later material that we've got with the beautiful flags there in the centre of shot, and which is going underneath, which have been separated from each other by a lovely cobbled roadway. Now if I just stand here, you might be able to see, poke my finger in the right place, these stones here, these are a direct parallel for similar sized stones that we got on the opposite side of the roadway that separated these 2 structures, way up in the distance over there. You can catch that on a previous video blog. So now as we look down the trench, we've got a roadway which is around about 5 metres wide, which is separating these 2 buildings, which are now very, very clearly east-west in orientation, and unfortunately lie beneath the later remodelled barracks, buildings, whatever they happen to be. We haven't worked out a purpose just yet. And so in some stage in the future, probably not this year, but possibly next, once we remove some of these later features, we're going to have some good fun playing in that building. So that's been one major aspect of work this fortnight. But if we walk slightly further down the trench over here, all I can do is apologise for the camera shake. My legs are a bit wobbly. I'm starting to creak halfway through the season. But the next major feature is an extraordinary building here. Now, to be honest, we're still unsure whether these are foundation floor flags, whether they're foundations for walls that were made of timber. But one thing about them is they're very, very late in date. Unfortunately, they've been heavily plough damaged, and if I get quite close, you might be able to see some of the plough marks on them. Whereabouts? Yeah, this one's a good example. There we go. You can see all these grooves scoured into the stones. I mean, it must have been absolute devil's work trying to plough this area. So whoever's been farming here in the Victorian period in the early 20th century, they've been absolutely desperate. And of course all the ploughing has presumably scoured away a lot of the stratified material from this building. But interestingly, within its floor, we've also found a whole series of these things, these curious stones with a slight lip on one end. Now those are what they call voussoir stones, and if you want a good look at what a voussoir stone does, it's beyond my scope to do this in a 2-minute video blog, but if you Google voussoirs, V-O-U-S-S-I-O-R, it'll give you a fantastic little bit of information about how they were used to span arches, particularly in things like bathhouse roofs in the Roman period, so well worth a look. And that indicates again a late use for this building, because presumably they've pulled one of these buildings down, whether it's the commanding officer's bathhouse, or bath suite, sorry, which is in the middle of the Praetorium in that direction there, or whether they've come from further afield, from the 3rd century bathhouse in the distance there, is anybody's guess, but it's a good indicator that it's a really late building. So we've had that going on in the centre of the trench, and then unfortunately I'm really quite sorry to report that we found another rubber trench. So the bigger, deeper hole that we've got through the middle of proceedings there is again another rubber trench, and like its predecessor, in the centre of the dig there, We have no evidence of clay pipe stems, glazed pottery, any really modern ware, no coins or anything. And similar to that, they've left a lot of the Roman artefacts behind and merely taken the stones. We haven't got its southern end yet, so it's somewhere underneath here. Plenty of finds, plenty of pottery, ceramics and bones left behind, but no flagstones or stones of building quality. So whoever's been in here has had a single-minded purpose. And that's really about where we are for the end of this week. So I'll try and write a text blog for next time with a few photographs and then another video blog in a fortnight or so. Hope you're enjoying them.